Hello, everyone. My name is Keely Denenberg. I'm Senior VP of Client Solutions at Orange Grove Consulting. I am joined today by Dr. Kelly Watson, Managing Partner at Orange Grove. And Kelly and I are continuing a conversation on leadership competency development. We just discussed in a prior video why leadership competencies are foundational for talent management. And now we're going to be talking about how organizations can create their leadership competencies and how they determine that. So, Kelly, we, as you know, of course, we have a leadership competency framework that we're really proud of. I would love to hear from you how we created that, how we developed it. And then I'd love to hear what we do from there with clients to kind of edit and make sure it fits their organization.
Thanks, Keely. Yes. So, how we developed it? Well, we started with the literature, the academic literature, and what studies have been done in the past and what competencies have emerged from academic research, because that is a place where research gets done and gets validated and peer reviewed. And so we know that these are, sort of evergreen competencies that work and that have had validated outcomes in the past with organizations. So we start there, and our framework is very much built on that foundation, including research that Dr. Jody Dutchin, my partner here at Orange Grove, had done in the past and our own experience in workplaces. And so we started there and we developed our own framework. But obviously, once we get to an organization, there may be things that emerge as being more effective for that particular organization. So we also then work with the organization to highlight some of the things that they have found in the past have been successful. And we start with anecdotal because oftentimes people in the organization do have a good sense of what works and what doesn't. But then we go and we validate it by doing a study, by doing research, and making sure that those are the competencies that are connected to positive outcomes for the organization, so performance outcomes, and not just people's opinions or nice to haves or things that, really aren't all that validated, as being effective. So those analytics are a really important part of the process. That way we know we're not just talking out our butts and saying you should have leaders that do X, but that there really is organizational outcome. And then what we do is we need to embed that in systems all through the organization. So we make sure that people are recruiting with those competencies in mind, that they do performance management and analytics on their existing talent, and so that we make sure that that's what's getting rewarded and recognized in the organization and incentivized, and that is why people get promoted. So in the talent succession pipeline, that we're making sure that people are looking at those competencies and measuring those competencies and not just going with people's opinions or nice to haves or that be like me kind of stuff. And then finally, once it's embedded in the systems, that's when training can be developed to put together programs that will help folks over the long term develop these kinds of competencies in the workplace. And that's really important because, again, a lot of clients will show up and say, hey, we want you to design our leadership development program. And that's great. But if you haven't done this competency work first, then really you're not focusing your resources. And training is so expensive, right? So we want to make sure that we're focusing the training resources to the outcomes that are going to deliver something for our organization and not just a smattering of somebody out there's own leadership model or own opinion about what leadership skills should be developed, but really what's going to move the needle here.
Yeah, and targeting when people have gaps, targeting those gaps. You don't know what the gaps are if you don't not starting from the place of knowing what you want. So, absolutely. I want to add that we have a couple of different ways of validating those frameworks and depending on the organization and the data they have and kind of what their leadership looks like, there are different ways for us to do that. So thank you, Kelly. That was great. And thanks everyone for listening in. Please check back to our YouTube channel for more short conversations like this one on this topic and others. Take care.